Couple full wrapped EDC belts. Multicam black red. Fupa danglers, Typhon royal blue, Atax ghost. Multicam black large tool bags. We'll do this video for a little while. You want to have a conversation, type some things out. If there's not a conversation, I will stop the video. Mesh pockets going. We've got a lot of those going, a lot of different colors. Those fit in almost anything that we make that's Velcro lined, and most things that other people make that are Velcro lined. So if you have a backpack or bag with Velcro lining, all of our Velcro stuff will fit in those as well. Gary, what's up? Byron, Gunfighter, Mark Taft, what's up? Dallas, how are you? How's everybody's day? Anything cool happen today for you? Did you make anything cool happen for you? Bunches and bunches of tourniquet pouches here. Showing 19 online, 15 thumbs up. I need you to hit that thumbs up. It's free. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Super chat me $20, ask a question, and we'll talk from there. Yeah, I went to Rural King. John? Yeah, sure. I for sure went to Rural King. Derek Olson, what's up? Do you enjoy canning peaches? Now, we put a bunch of peach trees in and got peaches several years in a row, like 15 gallons off of the trees. But for the most part, it is warmed up for the last 3 or 4 years. It's warmed up really warm in the winter and then froze. Right now, for instance, I have on the peach trees, I have beautiful blossoms, but we have a freeze coming again. So it's actually killed over half of the peach trees we have on the property right now. Hammered out a couple loads of firewood. Nice. I bought a new saw today. I'm going to do some wood cutting tomorrow, I think. Hosted worked archery tournament. Very cool. Very cool. Extra small mesh. Where did that go? Extra small mesh worked great for sunglasses. Yeah, yeah. Only Glock shirt. I'm a fan. I like it. I'm wearing one right now, as a matter of fact. Went to a ridiculous homeowners meeting. Who cares? I don't care. You're going to get it. It's going to be there. Just leave it there. Apparently my credit card expired and I don't give that information to YouTube. So now I'm not getting weird. You can do it through Google Pay. You can do it through Apple Pay. And I wouldn't be concerned with giving my credit card to YouTube. Like, I just wouldn't worry about it. I mean, all of my cards, if I have any kind of problem with them, they're going to handle it on my cards end. Easy K, what's up? Chase Peoples, what's up? Do you believe there are glitches? Yes, I'm sure that there are. Went to a ridiculous HOA meeting. Explain to them a concept I've learned called allowed versus a. Yeah, no shit. No shit. You're fucked. If you moved into an HOA, you will never beat the HOA in court. The HOAs are written and controlled in a manner that you do not get to deviate or change it. You are completely fucked by having moved into an HOA. Now, a lot of fines, like Trump, right? Trump wanted a big giant fucking sign, so they fined him $1,000 a day, and he paid $1,000 a day for years to have his big ass flag up. Stephen Peoples, what's up? I was Thunderdome, but I guess the cart weird. What fertilizer do you add to your raised beds? Rabbit shit. I don't use any other fertilizer. Rabbit shit, mushroom compost. You could use Dr. Garrett's earth juice, worm castings. You could do that. Your new bag looks convenient. Where you can do 2 small and 1 large. Yeah, you could do 4 smalls also. I really think we could take some Plano boxes, some standard Plano boxes, and just put adhesive Velcro on the back and slap those suckers in there too. Used a few SB products today and make my tournament. Cool, man. Cool. Stephen Peoples, what's up? Yeah, we had a large tool bag with us with all the drones and camera gear and stuff. but we did not. I mean, I had the GoPro with me most of the day and filmed some, but like I didn't put the drone up or anything today. So everybody's plans for tomorrow. Andrea, what's up? Joseph Fraser sold my SOE edition. Polaris Ranger yesterday. Had your sticker hunt. Cool. What was it? Do you have an 800, a 1000, 570? What year was it? And what are you going to replace it with? Mark Taft. So I went to buy all these mats and ended up with these mats that don't match. And then we're at Rural King today, and they have these ones, so I think I'm going to buy more at Rural King and pull these out. Great Wolf, what's up? Running the store. Going to the mountains, snowy picnic, very cool. Going to visit my wife at the stroke rehab. Right on. Not that she's there, but right on that you're going to go see her and spend time with her. Gary Johnson, what fertilizer will you be using this year? What are you thinking? I also, like a lot of my beds, I have a lot of raised beds. A lot of them were started with Miracle-Gro soil. So they grow really well the first year, but the soil's dead the next year. So I always top dress it with, rabbit manure. But then I also have Ocean Forest soil also, which has a lot of real nutrients in it, living stuff. Chilling with the wee kids and the farm animal, trying not to kill another rooster. Yeah, I've got a lot of roosters. Oh, fucking lot. I have like 40 roosters. What ideas do you have for your plans tomorrow? I think I'm going to cut some wood. I've got a lot of wood, big wood down on the ground and stuff. I just need to chop it up so that we can, even if I could just roll it into the tractor bucket and then just take it over to the processor. Tyler, what's up, buddy? Do all the roosters wake up? No, I can go out at 2 in the morning and roosters will crow. I can go out at 4 in the morning and roosters will crow. I can go out at 6 in the morning and when they hear that door, they start going off. How busy are you allowing after out of stock ordering? Gunfire doesn't affect me. I'm not building it. Guys that ordered that shit are going to wait for it. I am doing the wrapped EDC belts, which I have one more that I have to build. I've built all of those. And a couple guys ordered tapered war belts. I built one of those, is almost completely done. It's on my sewing table right now. I've got other stuff to do. I can always stay busy. Last fertilizer we used was pretty good. I got it from Amazon. Osmo. Man, check out Dr. Garrett's Earth Juice. Check that out. Dumped all the Miracle-Gro dirt from last year's containers and starting from scratch. Why? Why not just add to it? Why dump it? Like that's it's still a good media. Like if you grew in it last year, there's no nutrients in it, but you could definitely add compost to it. Our roosters would holler any time of the day. Same here. And roosters, for people that don't know, a 1-year-old rooster is like the class clown, right? He's always acting a fool, and he's always sketchy. It's like a little motherfucker on meth. He's always running around like something wants to kill him because everything wants to kill him. Send an email, Mark, right on. I've heard in your compound videos that you say they are all the same, but I got to tell you, that doesn't matter. I love seeing all the chickens dog. Right on, thanks. Burned almost 7 cords this year. Was not expecting that much, but getting ready for next year. Mark, maybe a better stove. Like, if you're burning wood, you know more about wood than I do, right? But your stoves, You can buy a $1,000 stove, for instance, at Tractor Supply or a big box store. There's a huge difference when you get a $4,000 stove. They're tighter, they're cleaner, they reburn. There's a lot more to them. And you will literally load your wood box up before you go to bed. It'll still be burning in the morning. Whereas a lower cost stove, it just fucking eats through the wood. Just got Amanda's text right on. We're going to go to Buff, Rhode Island Cross. Much chiller. Right on, right on. Put the Miracle-Gro dirt in the garden with compost. I have some dirt and compost mix. Nice, nice. The problem that 1-year-old rooster run around like that, everything wants to kill them, is because they are delicious. Well, they want to, right? They're horny little teenagers, and they want to have sex with all the hens. So they get up there, but they're not really part of that group or flock. So they jump on those hens, do their work for 10 seconds, and then the other roosters are alert that they're there, so they come and get them. I've got an old stove built in the 80s. It does eat wood fat. I bet, man. I bet. Okay, so how busy are you after allowing out of stock ordering? Has that really increased your order? So it will, Gunfighter. What you need to do, because I assume you're the only one building them, right? So you only have so much time. So if you need more work, do that. If you are using all of your labor possible, raise your prices, right? So if they can order something somewhat custom or something you don't have available, your normal clientele, right? Like there's not a whole bunch. You have some repeat customers because dudes have a bunch of guns. But you're not getting a lot of repeat customers, right? Whereas I make 10,000 different items, I have people that literally order multiple times a week. When you raise your prices or you allow them to order things that they couldn't normally order, raise your prices. Now, your people who normally order $50 and $60 items, they're probably not going to buy that. But there's going to be a ton of people. You could literally stay 100% in business by only dealing with people that are willing to pay more to get something that they can't have. I mean, a good example is when I sew those bags. When I sew leather, any hybrid bags, my bags auction for $1,000 to $2,500 every single time. That's not the average normal everyday customer that's buying t-shirts every week. That's a dude who typically doesn't buy any other time other than when I have really high-end shit. What happened with the SARM industry? FDA shut them down. If you want to see if a product works, just watch what the FDA is trying to shut down. M&M, NMN, Terkesterone, things like that. That's because they work. They want to close that fucking down. Peptides, right? Research chemicals. That shit works. Ipamorelin, Sumarelin, BPC, body protective coating, all that shit works. That's why they want to close it down. Because you could take a product that you can buy without a doctor and without insurance and without all kinds of bullshit and not have to buy growth hormone, which is you're going to spend $3,000 a month on growth hormone. You could literally buy Ipamorelin or Sumarelin and you're going to pay a couple $100 because it fucking works. We had rabbit poop in a wheelbarrow outside the rabbit house and it got a lot of rain. I am planning to pour that juice. Yeah, you could also take rabbit poop, for anybody that doesn't know. You can take rabbit poop, put it in a trash can, a 55-gallon drum, an IBC tote, and fill it with water and let it sit out in the sun. But if you aerate it, it will supercharge it, right? If you put big bubblers in it, it'll make it even more potent. So Gary, I have, I don't know, $100,000 in SARMs probably. We were selling SARMs. I bought all of the remaining SARMs that Swinney Nutrition had. I have a bunch of like 20-gallon Rubbermaid totes full of SARMs. I have these bins. I have like 10 of these bins full of SARMs. We don't sell them. I just fucking have them. And now I think peptides are every bit as good. The SARMs are probably truer to anabolics. Like there are anabolic SARMs which you cannot get peptides for. Did you get a chainsaw today? I did. I did buy a chainsaw today. Ben Champ Jr. Hello, all. Kind of new. You're new here? You just found... How'd you find us? How'd you get here? Show your sauna. My sauna's in my private area. I have a big sauna though. I mean, you could seat 6 people in my sauna. Why did people quit carrying swords with them?
Because they started riding in cars.
Or because they have guns. I mean, I have some sword type things on my 4-wheelers, but it's fucking super rare that I ever use them, right? I have some trimmers that are kind of like machetes, but I mean, let's be real. Anything electric with a blade is way safer. Any loppers or cutters are safer. A silky saw is way fucking safer. Especially if you're out by yourself.
Those swords weren't usually used to cut things.
Yeah, I mean, what are we really using swords for? I mean, if you want to carry a sword, fucking all about it, bro. I think you should have 2 of them. I think you should carry them on your back. I think the handle should be like an X above your head to the side of your neck. I think you should roll into a restaurant. I think at every traffic stop, when the cop's like, why do you have a sword? I'd be like, fuck you, why do you have a gun? I mean, yeah, I think you should carry all the swords you want. Josh Winnie, what's up? It's legal to carry a sword in Texas, right on. Showed up, suggested YouTube like a couple weeks ago. Right on, man, right on. So we build nylon gear here, obviously. We have a lot of sewing machines. We do a lot of other things also. We have Self-Reliance Festival here. We will have our 5th one in March. We'll have between 700 and 1,000 people here talking about how to produce your own food, how to do business if your bank turns your bank account off, how to continue to live like you normally live if the government decided you're not allowed to have electricity, for instance. You know, stuff like that. Unlike a lot of channels, Jen Champ, unlike a lot of channels, the people here commenting, we know one another. Like, we've been together several times. We've had meals. We've sat down. They've been here. And that's part of the Self-Reliance Festival. A lot of YouTube channels you watch, like, you will kind of have some idea of how things are, but if you ever go there in person, it's not like that at all, right? Because you just see a little sliver of a lens. That's why I do these videos off an iPad. Like, we walk around. You see what really is here, and when you walk in the building, it's exactly what you thought it was. Nothing's curated, right? Our videos aren't, we don't like cut a ton of shit out or just show some sliver to make you think it's some kind of way. Able versus allowed, right? Right. And that's it exactly, right? What's the difference, like freedom, right? You want freedom. You want to be a free man, right? Freedom. What's the difference between freedom versus liberty? That's what you need to know. Freedom's great, but freedom means somebody gave you your freedom. Freedom means a man told you you could do something. Liberty means you're born with it, right? Your God-given rights. That's the difference. Liberty is what you should strive for. Liberty is something that every person has, and they can't have you understand what liberty means, right? Because they need to be able to control you. Liberty means you can't be stopped for something that it does not have no victim, no crime, right? But most of law enforcement nowadays, it's just about taxing you to give to their masters, right? Because their masters' government has to continue to grow. I carried a gun illegally before. Actually, yeah, didn't everybody? I mean, even as a child, right? Even as a kid. Hit the thumbs up or give me $20. That's right. That's right. You can give me $20 anyways. Help me do what we do. We feed our families, and my employees feed their families. Buy some product, or just add value, right? If you don't have the money, you don't have a need for product, just add value, right? There's somebody, you have something. Everybody has something that somebody can learn that they need. We have some black med pouches, the big tear-offs. We have a bunch of compacts. I didn't even know those were up there. Rambat, what's up? Self-preservation. Anybody here have a chainsaw? You know how they put those little rubber things on the top handle there where you can put a scrunch? We need some way to put a tourniquet on the chainsaw. What do I think the giants are? I don't know. I think the Smithsonian takes them. Be like a kid in a candy store. Yeah, that's kind of. I've incorporated everything that I like to do into my business. We're on 10 acres of property. When we first moved here, we put a full-blown motocross track. It was 1.25 miles, and it had huge jumps, right? We built everything so that you could jump everything with razors, and we built it all for a 4-seat car, so it was wider and faster. Huge jumps. I mean, really big jumps. Now we've put in ponds and row houses and greenhouses and fenced and cross-fenced things, so we got a couple hundred chickens. We got 100 rabbits. We produce a ton of food. More importantly, we produce a ton of manure. I've got none of my employees have bought eggs in the last probably 5 years now. Like, we have eggs usually sitting by the time clock, and everybody can take home 18 eggs every day, as many eggs as they want. We feed all of our employees. Most of them that want to eat breakfast, we feed breakfast. We feed most of our employees lunch, the ones that want to eat. There's a full gym here. You can work out. But we just kind of do what we do what's best for us. And as a byproduct, we do what that trickles to the employees as well. And people that align with our thoughts and beliefs, they work. And the ones that don't, they kind of fall off and don't last very long. Am I cool with Jay Gibson? I don't have a Jay Gibson problem. You ask a lot of fucking weird questions. Who the fuck are you, first of all? Because you ask a lot of fucking questions about people. Like, who are you? Why don't you know the answer to that? Like, if you're worried about Jay Gibson, how come I don't see your ass here in class training with tactical response? I mean, because tactical response is James's daughters, right? If you give a shit about James, why aren't you fucking putting money into their company and helping his legacy remain for his grandkids? Like, who are you? Put tourniquet on the inside of the chain brake. If your hand will still fit. Nice battery powered DeWalt is nice for about 80. So I went to buy a battery powered steel saw today. I went to buy one of each, actually, a gas and a battery power saw. And the steel saw, you have to buy their charger. You have to buy their batteries, and they have 3 different batteries you can put in the saw. You got to buy the saw. So by the time you get Steel's electric saw, you're in it for about $1,000. I have a Milwaukee sitting here, and I also have a Cobalt. Scully has a couple DeWalts, and they're awesome. I mean, we've talked about them over the years. We've made a lot of videos about them. But he's got a Steel now. He runs a Steel, And it's rare that he even uses the electric saw anymore. Own lots of saws. We keep tourniquets on person and make. Yeah, I understand, man. I understand. Battery powered DeWalt, but I can use a battery power all day without. Yeah, I like the idea of the battery because it's quieter, especially if you're going to keep them like in an SUV or something for storms or something. You don't have the fuel inside the cab. And just being able to solar charge them, right? I've got solar panels and I've got solar generators and stuff like that. You know, we bought battery packs and we're adding more and more solar. I really like those Ubco bicycles, you know, those cargo bicycles, because you can charge them off of, you know, solar. You can charge them off of battery power. And I really like the idea of a wood gasifier. They have wood gasifiers right now for about $3,600. They come with Honda motors on them, and or Honda like generators. So it's just a little wood fire box, and it burns the gas, burns the wood, turns it into gas, and that wood gas is used to run a generator. So you could charge off of that. I'm gonna try Ego 50. Byron, Tad really likes the Ego stuff. He's got Ego equipment. He likes it. Put a small tether on a climbing saw. You could put your tourniquet pouch on it as a small single point. Yep. Been very happy with your Milwaukee. So the Milwaukee's okay, but it's very, very thin, man. It is a thin fucking chain. It is not going, that Milwaukee saw, while it will cut some stuff, it will not fucking come close to keeping up with a gas saw. Let's just be real. We ran the Milwaukee saw. I have a Milwaukee saw for putting on the four-wheeler and just, you know, cutting some shit here and there. But if you're really like cutting firewood or doing anything that you would do real with a saw, you're not gonna, that Milwaukee saw, like, it's great until you actually know what a gas saw does. Like if you live in a condo or a small house, right, and you don't have a real, like, on a lot, right? If you're on a half acre, quarter acre lot, the Milwaukee saw is fine for you. Like if you're a homeowner, but we got 10 acres of property here, and we have real fucking storms here. Just got a Makita, right on. I think that any of the battery powered stuff right now, no matter what color battery powered products you get, it's all better than shit was just 5 years ago, right? It's all great. It's literally just, it's a Ford Chevy conversation. Your setup is true inspiration. I learn something every night. Right on, right on. I do most of my light duty yard work with the chainsaw attachment on my gas weed whacker. Oh yeah, I could totally see that. Cool thing about the battery powered DeWalt stuff is it's got a built-in chain sharpener. I am horrible about sharpening chains. And what I mean by that is when I need to sharpen a chain, I just put a new chain on. I have a Milwaukee, seems to be slightly better than better with the big 12-0 battery. Oh, I'm sure it is. But what do those big batteries cost? Aren't those big batteries like $400 or $500? Just the fucking battery that fits in that hole there? Michael, how are you, man? How are you? If you're around the Key West area, Florida area, Michael is the dude you want to do your wedding photography. Who got the lightweight black flag hoodies? I love that thing. I was wearing mine today. I've got some electric string trimmers. They don't do what the gas trimmers do. Now I haven't tried the Milwaukee. I do have a lot of Milwaukee electric stuff, but those string trimmers, the electric string trimmers, are nothing compared to a Husqvarna or a steel string trimmer. They don't RPM as fast. I mean, nothing about them is the same. 6 weddings, 8 days, busy, busy. I bet you are, man. I bet you are. That's what happens when you're the best. What you said about keeping a battery-powered saw in the truck makes a lot of sense. I like the idea. I have a gas steel for heavy work. Yeah, and then also the other question is, right? Okay, so if we're keeping it in an SUV or in a truck, awesome, great. Can we not just run a chain around whatever and drag it out of the way? Do we actually have to cut it, or could we just pull it out of the way? Or put a winch on it and just winch it out of the way? Makita XGT 40 and 80 volt tools are incredible. They also are not as susceptible to water. Right on. I've had DeWalt drivers. Right, I've had DeWalt drivers sitting in 5-gallon buckets, fill up with rainwater, dump them out, give them a few days, and they fire up like they were never underwater. Battery saw leaked bar oil. Yes. Well, yeah, your battery saw will leak. They all leak bar oil. I actually think that my battery saws leak bar oil faster than my other saws. What if you had a vinyl lined chainsaw bag? I've got those Husqvarna chainsaw boxes, but man, they're fucking huge. Have I used this trimmer with handlebars and a harness? I have not, man. I just have the, I just use them with a single point sling. I do not have the dual handle ones. I've never used those. You can't run the little round saw blades on an electric ones either. You have to have a gas one. Looked at a couple 4-seat Polaris razors, and you were right about the turning radius and no bed space. The Honda Pioneer with the dump bed looks like a solid machine. Yeah, you have to actually shift the Honda, right? It's got a 5-speed transmission gearbox. Like, you actually have to drive that. Whereas the other, with the Polaris, you do not have to. If you want bed space, man, I really like the Polaris North Stars. They're expensive though. I mean, you see them going for 50 grand. But that market's coming down. I think Polaris just lowered their sticker prices like 15% because nobody's buying shit in the store right now. SUV bungee sling makes using big weed eater. Yeah, it really helps. It takes that It takes a lot of the vibration out. 30-year McCullough chainsaw, right on. Has a built-in sharp. That's cool. Gummies came in. Wife, daughter made sure that I was divested of 3 bags. I only run true fuel premix in my equipment. Right on. Yeah, make sure you're running non-ethanol fuel. Did you see the pics of Biden with his pants on? I didn't see that. I saw him fall up the flight of stairs again for Air Force One. Did you notice how long that flight of stairs looked? Like they made a double ramp so that the steepness wasn't as steep. My battery saw leaked. Okay, we read all this. Love the t-shirt so much, had to get the hoodie. Yeah, I was wearing mine today. Steel by far the best chainsaw, and my weed whacker is a beast. Nice. Chainsaw makes for a weed eater. Yeah, I have a hedge trimmer, you know, with the blades that go back and forth. I use those to cut a ton of shit with, and I've got the little handheld Milwaukee one it's good if it's skinny. If it's nothing bigger around than your pinky. And then I've got some Husqvarna ones also. I don't play chainsaw every day. When I need one, both Steel and Husky have served me. Yeah, I've got them both now. Milwaukee pole saw. I've got a Husqvarna pole saw. I've got a brand new Husqvarna pole saw, as a matter of fact. I've never used it. I have a pole saw, Gerber pole saw. Maybe it's Gerber. Who makes all the stuff? What's the other brand? I can't remember the name of them. But I've got one of those pole saws too, and man, it worked great for cutting limbs this last year. There's a brand new pole saw right back there. Fiskars, that's it, Fiskars. Gerber makes Fisker, or Fisker makes Gerber, or vice versa. It's the same company. That's what I've always heard. I don't know that to be factual, but that's what I've heard many times. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off of here, get some stuff done here. Thanks for hanging out for a few minutes. Text and email have gone out. If you need anything, send an email. If ever you are asking about an order, make sure you reply to your email confirmation that the system sent when you ordered it. If you're one of those dipshits that's like, I didn't get a confirmation email, it's usually because your dumbass used a different email address. I am always baffled. And it happens once or twice a week where dudes are like, hey, checking on my order. And they're emailing me from a completely different fucking email address. So when we look you up, we can't find your order. If you don't know your order number, chances are really good we can't find your order number either. And it's usually because they're using a different email address. So find your confirmation email. And if you can't find it, check the other email accounts you use. And just hit reply and ask your question in reply to that email. So, I am out of here. Good night. Me and my son bought a Harbor Freight battery pole saw. Pretty decent. Cool. Right on. Josh, miss you, buddy. My neighbor says Fiskars are the best. I think the Fisker stuff's like dropped. I think everything's kind of dropped in quality. I think a lot of stuff has. I have a lot of Fisker stuff, though, you know, because it's readily available at Lowe's and Walmart and stuff. All right, guys, good night.